Hi everyone, my name is Sheila O'Neill and I co-authored a book called Suliewey, the sequel to my Indian, with Chief Michel Joe. I'm sitting here in my home all cozied up and I would like to read to you chapter 2 of Suliewey, which is called Hibernating Like Bears. Now before we get started, I need to tell you that we've used Mi'kmaq words in our book. Now don't worry, we have a glossary in the back. But for now, for our reading today, I'll let you know which words I'm going to be using, and hopefully you can remember them as I tell the story. The first one we'll be using is halibu, which is the Mi'kmaq word for caribou. They sound kind of the same, halibu, caribou. Okay, got it? All right. The next one is gobit. Gobit is the word for beaver. Gobit, beaver. Not quite sounding the same, but hopefully you'll get it from the reading. The third word is muin, and muin means bear. Muin, bear. So we've got halibu, caribou, gobit, which means beaver, muin, which means bear, and I have two more to tell you. Luskenagen. Luskenagen means bannock. And it's something that you make with flour, like a bread from flour, and you cook it in bear fat, and sometimes you put blueberries in it. Luskenagen. And finally, aglasio. Aglasio is the Mi'kmaq word that means European settler or white man. Okay? So aglasio. Ready to get started? I sure am. All right. So as I said, it's chapter 2, and it's called Hibernating Like Bears. When Suliewey walked into the chief's house, he was met with warmth and the delicious smell of halibu stew cooking on the stove. After a big meal of stew and strong black tea, Suliewey and the chief sat on the floor with their backs against the wall. They then took out their pipes and smoked in silence while the chief's wife cleaned the pots and pans. The chief went to the storeroom out back and returned with a beautiful halibu bag made by his wife. The halibu bag was made into a bag that a person could slip into, which could serve as a bed, but also as their bundle. Suliewey took the gift in his hands and looked it over with admiration. The bag was very well made. The outside edges were trimmed with gobit fur, which could be used as a head covering while you slept. The halibu hide had been worked with her hands over a round log, and even a rope strung between two poles for many hours to make it soft and flexible, like a wool blanket. Then the hide was brain tanned to make it even softer and slightly smoked to preserve it. Suliewey was so overwhelmed with this generous gift, as well as the generous gift of Chief Gantgant's hospitality. He took out the compass that Cormac had given to him and gave it to his friend. The chief looked at the compass and then smiled slyly at Suliewey. "I see you are all out of good gifts." "Yes," Suliewey said. "I don't need this strange thing, but thought you might like to hang it in your window. It is made from something called brass. It's nice and shiny." And with that, both men laughed heartily. That night, Suliewey slipped into the bag, and with his hands under his head, he listened to the crackling of the fire. Soon his thoughts wandered to the trail he must take. After a short while, he felt his eyes getting heavy. Sleep came quickly, and his dreams were of a beautiful young woman with long black hair and red skin. Soon it was daybreak, and the chief's wife was stoking the fire. "Get up, lazy bones," she said under her breath. "We might have to take that bag away if you sleeps all day." She turned with a smile and walked away. Soon the kitchen was filled with sweet smells of frying halibu meat and luskenagen fried in muin fat. "Come and eat," was all she said. Not many words were spoken while the delicious food was eaten. The chief's wife prepared a small meal on a piece of birch bark with a pinch of tobacco and took it outside. This was a small offering giving thanks to the spirits for the good things the people had: food, shelter, and of course the friendship of Suliewey. She gave thanks for keeping Suliewey safe on the long journey he had just come from, and for the journey he was about to take. After a few cups of strong black tea and a smoke of their pipes, the chief said, "Let's make our way around and talk to the other Mi'kmaq trappers. The trappers might know about the Beothuk and where they might spend the winter sheltering from the Alglazio." Suliewey and the chief met the trappers that day, but they did not have a lot of knowledge of any site that could be found easily during the winter months. The trappers did say it was as if the Beothuk were hibernating like the Muin do during the winter. That night, when Suliewey was once again in his comfortable halibut skin bag, he thought of the many discussions they had during that day. The one thing that stuck in his mind was hibernating like Muin. To find a Muin's den during the winter meant simply looking for the steam that came out of the top of the den. Suliewey thought that maybe the Beothuk shared a den with the Muin. After many talks around the small village, Suliewey was no further ahead with knowing where the Beothuk spent the winters. There was a lot of speculation of where they might be, but no certainty. Suliewey was feeling stronger every day with great food and conversation with the chief and his wife every evening. One night, after a good supper of salted herring, the chief reminded Suliewey of his offer to stay with them until they got to when the days are longer, and the snow would be harder and much easier to walk on. At night, Suliewey made his bed by the stove. His new sleeping bag was so comfortable that most nights he just slept on top of the bag. Lying there in contentment, Suliewey spent many nights wondering where the Beothuk were living during the long cold winter, and how many of them were still alive. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're cozy. Thanks.